I'm Linda, and I had an infarct stroke in February of 2013, and they sent me out of the hospital 3 days later with a bunch of medications, and I'm now on nothing, and I'm doing really good. I could hardly walk when I got here, and Dr. Jotti's been working on my organs and my brain to make them work together. This has only been 13 treatments, and I'm doing 100% better. My walking is better, and I could hardly walk when I came in, and now I'm walking with no problem. I can even go around our mile block at the campsite where we're staying, and Dr. Jotti's different than your normal medical doctor. All they told me to do was go on these pills, which wouldn't really even prevent a stroke, but they wanted to put me on cholesterol thinning pills or cholesterol lowering drugs, and baby aspirin and blood pressure pills, and then they also put me on thyroid. And so now I took the blood pressure pills for 6 days, and my blood pressure's then I quit it, and my blood pressure's good now. And so Dr. Jotti doesn't prescribe medications, and it's all based on brain remapping. Anyway, he's made a big difference. I was actually here about 3 years ago because I was basically dying. My organs had shut down, and I was gaining weight. I put on so much weight, and I was passing out all the time and tripping over my own feet. And Dr. Jotti got that problem straightened away. I could finally fasten necklaces and stuff like that. And when I first came to Dr. Jotti, I couldn't do much of anything. And after 2 treatments, I could go out and golf. And I went at it slowly, but my life came back, and we were motorcycling and doing all kinds of different things.
Before she came to see Dr. Jotti, she wasn't able to do very much of anything, actually. She would fall down frequently for absolutely no reason whatsoever, and we had all kinds of tests done in Canada, and the doctors pretty much couldn't figure out what her problem was. We've been going through this for a number of years at home. We actually came across a lady in Vancouver that was Zana. She was very, very helpful to my wife because the medical situation wasn't working, and her family was they were all doctors, and her dad was the head of the World Health Organization, a doctor as well, and they had homes all over the world. And she was doing very well for my wife and on the right track for quite a period of time. He helped her. She also went to see a naturopath, and he also helped her to quite an extent. But they both told her that her organs had shut down. They didn't, and her next stage was death, and they didn't quite know. They helped her. They didn't know how to quite get the job done. They ran it to dead ends, I guess. Regardless, we came to Palm Springs just over 3 years ago, I guess, trying to find some doctor that would be able to figure out what her problems was. So I was going to pay for every test known to mankind. And in the meantime, she's going to Curves in Palm Springs and picked up a magazine, some health magazine, whatever. And she came across Dr. Jotti that basically mimicked what her problems were, I guess. And anyway, so she made a phone call that day, and they didn't have an opening for her, but they had a cancellation later, so we went there the next day. And she was in pretty bad shape. Her ankles were swollen up very hugely, I guess. Her feet were black, and her chest was deeper. She'd put on a lot of weight, not dietary weight. It was just packed, I guess. And anyway, he had a look at her, and he was going to close the shop for 2 hours because he was going to Holland in a couple of days. And long story short, he worked with her through the whole period of time, and within 2 days, he had her ankles and her feet were back to normal. She was able to walk. We went golfing, and all that kind of crap. And so she just improved remarkably. We've been motorcycling, we've been hiking, and she's back to pretty much her normal lifestyle. And then just over 3 years later now. That's 3 years ago. We were in Arizona here, and we noticed things were not kind of. Well, I noticed at home already before we left that things weren't normal. She was having a problem getting on a motorcycle. She didn't know which foot to put up on the darn thing first, and whatever. And so we knew that something was happening. Something wasn't normal. She was just not operating like she should have. So we thought, well, we better get down here. We're coming here anyway. But we went to Arizona for 2 weeks first. We thought, well, she'd be okay for a couple of weeks. Anyway, 2 days short of that, she had a stroke in Arizona. And so we took her to emergency, and they put her through a 3-day stroke program, they call it, I guess. And basically a lot of tests, and put her on 4 different drugs. I think a thyroid pill, and her thyroid was almost normal, but put her on her anyway. And then a cholesterol reducing pill, and her cholesterol was pretty much normal as well as far as the tests were concerned. And baby aspirin, and blood pressure pill, I guess it was. And told her as long as they followed their medication guidelines, she'd be fine. And she was supposed to take therapy, I guess it was, physio. So anyway, we left there and came straight down to Dr. Jotti's, since we were heading here anyway. And he pretty much had her turned around in a couple of days, basically. She had a stroke, but it wasn't a bleed, fortunately. It was, I don't know, some other kind of stroke. And anyway, so we've had, I think, 13 treatments, and we're done now. And she's pretty much back to normal. Well, for her age, I guess she's doing pretty darn good. So anyway, she's doing really well. We're pleased with the results, and I think with just by going with the guidelines we've been given, no medications, I think she'll be 100%. She's walking well now, and we're going golfing tomorrow, so everything's pretty much good. We're pleased. And Dr. Jotti, well, I don't know how to explain it. People ask me, what does he do? You'd think he is a weirdo or some darn thing, but it's all, he's you can ask him any question you want. He seems to know how things work. He can, I don't know how, I can't seem to stump him. It's brain-based remapping, and getting your organs to function, get the signals from your brain to your organs so that your organs will function again, which a lot of the people other people are on the right track. They just don't seem to know how to coordinate or how to get that, connect the dots, I guess, or whatever, get what the brain is trying to tell your organs and the rest of your body to do. They can't seem to put that together, I guess, where Dr. Jotti seems to have that figured out, and he's just doing a wonderful job of making things work.